The eclipses may be over, but the celestial surprises are not. So let's get into this week's astrology. Hi all, my name is Comet. This is Magic Monday. Welcome to your astrological forecast for the week of May 8th to May 14th, 2023, where we're covering what is happening within this week's astrology. But what I'm the most interested in covering every single week here in my Cosmic Corner is how you can really leverage this astrology in order to live your most magical, your most aligned life. Every week, I will let you know which cosmic blessings to seize, as well as which celestial snags to avoid and circumvent. And this week, as promised, we have a Uranus Cazimi, Sun conjunct Uranus smack dab in the middle of the week. The unofficial motto of Uranus is expect the unexpected. And when we have a Uranian sort of week, we can be sure that there will be some unexpected bits of information, some unexpected developments, some unexpected mistakes, as well as some unexpected blessings. Like, the thing about Uranus is that it's not a negative planet. It's not a malefic. It is utterly neutral. It is simply things that are unexpected. Something like winning the lottery is unexpected, but also something like getting a flat tire on your way to work is also unexpected. So as you navigate this week, really important to be open to proceed through this week with a little bit of spontaneity, or at least being able to just rock with the changes that are coming up at this moment in time. We are, of course, in Taurus season. Taurus is the bull. So really, as we navigate this Uranus energy, just channeling our inner bull. One hoof in front of the other, just calmly and steadily dealing with it as it comes up. Oh wow, that's interesting, I won the lottery. Oh wow, that's interesting that I got a flat tire. Slowly and steadily, knowing that this too shall pass. And this doesn't mean that this week's astrology is bad. Quite the contrary. We have some incredibly supportive influences. We have Venus in Cancer trining Saturn in Pisces, which is really a cosmic cue to commit to what and who we love, as well as this steadiness and stability as it relates to our finances. We also have Mercury stationing direct. So again, cosmic clarity is coming in. The more that we sort of slowly and steadily plot our way away from the eclipses, and now with Mercury finally slowly shifting directions, we are beginning to have clearance to be able to move forward, as well as letting the dust from that chaotic eclipse season to settle, to really contemplate, what am I going to do about what came up? Or how am I going to solve this event that was unexpected? What do I need to do with my lottery earnings in order to ensure that they're safe? What do I need to do to get this flat tire fixed? There's an energy, a building momentum, we'll say, as we navigate this week's astrology around getting clearance to move forward, solve problems, as well as begin to integrate some of the eclipse season downloads, revelations, insights that could have come up. So yes, momentum is building. Yes, it's slow and steady. Mercury's still retrograde for a majority of the week, so I'm not saying you need to do anything chaotic. Uranus energy may be chaotic. That doesn't mean you need to be chaotic, okay? So we'll break it all down thematically as well as day by day before I take it into vibe check of the week to begin to paint a picture around how these themes will come to the surface within your universe. I just want to see what you guys are sipping on today. This may look like champagne. It is not. How fun would that be? But it is not. Trust me, I'm having a hard enough time getting these words out there with Mercury retrograde. Regardless, we don't need to add champagne to the mix. I'm ruled by Mercury, so this time of year is always a bit of a doozy for me. But I think today was the first Mercury retrograde Magic Monday that I've been able to successfully say the actual dates that we're talking about. Every single week, without fail, I write them down. They're right there. But for some reason, every single week I've been screwing up the date. So I think this is the first one that I've successfully said, but there might be some other error that comes up later in the video. So apologies in advance. But anyways, we do not need champagne to add to the mix. What we do need is this random beverage that I found on clearance. One thing about me is I love those random grab bag things at the supermarket and at the grocery store where it's like all of the rejects. You know, I'm a Pisces. I root for the underdogs. I'm like, why are you discounted? Random energy drink. Positive energy, zero sugar, natural clear energy. And it just makes me want to bring them home and love them and appreciate them because they've been neglected, they've been discounted. Know your worth, positive energy. But yeah, it's apparently green tea extract with vitamin C, and it has vitamin C and zinc in it. So I thought that would be good because I am getting over being sick, but I also needed some energy. So this felt like a good in between. So shout out to you, Ralph's clearance section, and shout out to all of us for navigating this week's Uranian energy with a stride-by-stride, step-by-step approach. So if you are new here, hello, welcome to Magic Monday. Vibe Check of the Week is a segment that we do on Magic Monday where we essentially liken all of those celestial occurrences that I was chatting you through. So Sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus, Venus in Cancer, trine Saturn in Pisces, Mercury stationing direct in Taurus. We essentially take all of those concepts and terms and compare it to a real life scenario so that even if those words feel like garbly-gluck to your mind, you can begin to tune into a particular emotion, a particular scenario to tune into how this energy can come to the surface within your universe. So this week's astrology feels like the following scenario. So let's say it's a morning like any other, and you're simultaneously eating a piece of toast and brewing coffee and putting on your shoes and stuffing papers into your bag, your mind absorbed with thoughts of the meeting that you have to get to. You know that in Magic Monday, it was advised that you should strive to go slow while Mercury's retrograde in Taurus, bucket extra time for everything. And this was simply one of those days that you just simply did not do that. So you go out to your car, you put your key in the ignition, already on a phone call with someone from work trying to handle something, and nothing. And nothing. And you are like, come on. Not today. You were just working fine yesterday. And sometimes Uranus sort of weeks can be kind of outburst energy. So maybe you're hitting your hands on the steering wheel. Maybe you're calling your partner to complain. Maybe you're getting outside and kicking the tire, but you're just like, come on, come on, come on. Not today, not today, not today. And you know that your 2001 Toyota Corolla has been on the last leg of its journey, right? It has had all sorts of issues. It has not passed smog. It's been taking more gas than it should take to get around. You don't necessarily feel safe in the car. It feels that the brakes are going to go. So there's been all these little warning signs, but you're like, not now, not now. You're not going to turn on now, right? And you're so frustrated. You're like, universe, this is not fair. This is not right. This car should work. This car should work. This car should work. So you have your little outburst, right? You're frustrated. You get a coworker to take you to work and you're just like, why me? Why do things unexpected have to happen? Why do things have to break? Why do things need to go wrong? Why are there inconveniences? Why? And you know, in the eclipse aftershocks and in the thick of Mercury retrograde, this is not necessarily a time to do anything impulsive, to run out and do a new car. So you begin to game plan. So you get your car towed to the auto shop, and it turns out that the car, it's going to take more to repair it than it's worth. So you are just feeling so annoyed. You're like, this is so unexpected. This is an expensive problem to fix. I am so annoyed. Why me? Why me? Why me? And you know that you're gonna need some time to essentially save up for a new car. And you're like, okay, in the interim, I guess I could like Lyft to work, I could have my coworker take me to work, or a new thought emerges within you. And you really think back to when you were little and you used to really love riding a bike to your friends' houses, and you think about it and you're like, well, I do work pretty close to where it is that I live. Maybe I could get a bike and transport that and just see what life is like without a car. So you invest in a bike, sort of like one that you had when you were younger. And not only do you have this new transportation, but you really have this new lovely part of your day. You feel differently when you arrive to work, like you're really more aware as it relates to your neighborhood. You feel more connected. Being in a car can make you feel very disjointed from the world around you, and it can also kind of make you kind of angry sometimes. And just arriving by bike, you just feel more calm. You're getting a great workout. You notice your health improves, and you just have this lovely new routine. And sure, there's parts of you that miss a car and you are saving up to eventually get a car, but in the interim, you're finding this is really good for the environment. This is good for your health. You're enjoying it. It's making you happy, right? It's taking you back to this hobby that you had while you were a kid. And yes, things suck sometimes. Our cars don't turn on. We shatter our phone. We are running late to something. With the energy of Uranus, unexpected things come up that are so annoying, right? But with Venus trine Saturn happening later, it's it's like, okay, I can't control everything, but how can I invest my time and energy into things that are responsible, right? Rather than, you know, taking out a ridiculous loan on a car, let me go slowly and steadily and find something in the interim that will solve my problems as well as even contribute to my happiness. So with this week, like I said, with Uranus, things unexpected happen and it can suck. It can be so annoying. You're running off to work and you're like, the car should turn on. But meanwhile, that car was not safe. Like eventually you were gonna need a new car, right? And there are unexpected blessings. With Venus in Cancer, trining Saturn in Pisces, this is being able to invest in something that we love and that we appreciate. This is this energy of responsibility, right? Like rather than going out and getting this obscene loan, let me save my money so I can really get up a nice amount to put towards a car. And in the interim, let me just see if this new way, if this new hobby works for me to get around. And with Mercury station direct, this energy around being able to move forward. Like, will we not have a car for the rest of our life? Probably not. At some point you may really want to have a car, but with the energy of Mercury direct, there can be this energy around slowly and steadily feeling like you are able to move forward, as well as unexpected blessings coming from the unexpected inconveniences. So why does this week's astrology feel like that? So with the energy of Uranus, as I talked about, it's things that are unexpected, right? It's like we were just going to work, it was like any other day, and then of course there was this snag, the car is not working, there was something unexpected, right? And it can be quite frustrating when things happen that weren't according to plan. You're like, things should not be like this, right? And when it comes to Mercury being retrograde in Taurus, Taurus has to do with our stuff, it has to do with our belongings, right? So there just could be things that are inconveniences this week. I'm not saying everybody's car is not going to start, knock on wood. I hope all of your cars are working beautifully right now if you drive. But when it comes to Mercury retrograde, there can be issues in regards to our stuff, in regards to our possessions. The toaster's not working, our phone's not working, computer's not working. There's just issues. There could just be issues with our stuff, as well as a review of what stuff we own, what stuff we need, right? And with Mercury retrograde, things can go awry. And with the Uranus energy, things that are unexpected. I thought this was meant to work, and there was a wrench in my morning's plans, right? But there is this blessing of Venus in Cancer trining Saturn in Pisces, because this is energy around really being able to invest in what it is that we love. Like Venus in Cancer is what I was kind of peppering into the vibe check. You used to love biking when you were little, and this is like a way that you're both honoring your inner child as well as proactively solving the problem, as well as rather than going out and getting like a crazy loan right away, you're, you know, bucketing your energy around, okay, how can I ensure that financially I'm making a good decision here? Maybe I need to hold off, Saturn is the planet of time, in order to really get myself into a situation that's going to be better, that's really going to be an investment within my life, rather than going out and getting some absurd loan because I don't have the money right now. It's like you won't not have a car for the rest of your life, but you're like, in the interim, I have this new hobby, I have this new way of exercising, right? Will it get annoying eventually? Probably, but with Venus trine Saturn, I have my eye on the prize. My car was unsafe anyway, right? I really was just like borrowing time in the interim, and let me keep my eye on the prize around having a safe, reliable vehicle, and then in the interim make certain sacrifices, which honestly, it just feels like unexpected blessings that are coming from something shocking. Not all of us will feel this as it relates to our automobiles, as it relates to our stuff. Some people could find this within love, absolutely can be a huge theme. Some people can find this within finances. Something unexpected comes up that you have to spend money towards, but you realize it's an investment within your future. It's an investment within your happiness. So let's go ahead and break this down thematically to begin to pepper in more nuances around how this can come to the surface for you. I want to let you know that if I mention a time, it is PDT, so please adjust to your time zone if you are not located on the West Coast as I. And also all timestamps are below. If you want to jump to a particular day, jump back to a particular day, that is a resource for you. Last thing is just if you get any value from this video, from Magic Monday as a whole, I would deeply appreciate any engagement that you can give from a like, comment, share, subscribe. I do have a membership option as well. Any little bit, I'm so grateful that you are here getting cosmic with me to start off every week. I am so grateful. So if you feel so called to support the channel with any bit of engagement, encouragement. I am so appreciative. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take it into Monday, May 8th. So good morning. Welcome to your forecast for Monday, May 8th. So I want to let you know there is a sleepy start to the day. Of course, we're still in Scorpio lunar eclipse recovery. I would love to hear how that was for you all. Please comment below. Was it emotional? Was it intense? What came to the surface? Were there insights? Was there revelation? Was there tea spilled? I would love to hear. We're still sort of in a recovery period for that, but also the Sagittarius moon squares Neptune in Pisces, which is a little bit of a procrastination energy, as well as wanting to stay in bed, not wanting to get up and start your day. It just feels like a little bit of a resistance going into, you know, your work day or your tasks or your to-dos or your caretaking or whatever it is that you have on your plate for Monday. There could just be energy around. I just want to be free. I just want to be frolicking in a field. And even if you do make it to the office, your mind can be elsewhere, like daydreaming about what you want to do later and the trip you want to plan for later this year and things of the nature, just head being all over, which is why in the vibe check, you know, you're running late, trying to get to work, trying to get to this presentation, because with Sagittarius square Neptune, we can find that the hours are slipping by. You look at the clock and you're like, how is it already 9 a.m.? What have I even been doing? Yeah, it's sort of one of those mornings. So while it is one of those mornings where you kind of find that you're procrastinating, head in the clouds, daydreaming, you know, pinning things on Pinterest rather than actually answering emails, right? It feels good. Like the Sagittarius moon is trining Jupiter in Aries. You can be feeling a little bit more restless. You can be wanting to move your bodies, maybe on your lunch break, going for a walk or something of the nature, doing something different into your day-to-day. You may have to attend to the errands, but infusing a little bit of adventure and a little bit of fun, as well as there's a jovial spirit, honestly, with the Sagittarius moon trining Jupiter in Aries. You might be ignoring your emails, but this pinning of pins on Pinterest is fun. You might be not handling your tasks, but you're really excited thinking about the trip you're going to take later this year. There is a jovial, more optimistic energy, even if it's not necessarily the most task-oriented. Fear not, because the moon will enter Capricorn a little later in the day, but the Sagittarius moon will be void at 1:28 p.m. until 4:33 p.m., at which point it enters Capricorn. So that is really a time in which you can find it's very, very hard to be productive. Like I said, head in the clouds, wanting to adventure and connect and do what feels good, and not necessarily wanting too much to attend to the to-dos. And then the moon enters Capricorn at 4:33, which is helpful around grounding down, around getting things done, but at what cost? So kind of a goof off sort of vibe, maybe like cracking jokes in the office rather than actually, you know, doing the tasks, things of that nature. And then the moon enters Capricorn at 4:33 p.m., which is the moon's detriment, which essentially means that the moon is not inherently comfy cozy here, because moon is about our emotions, our internal landscape, and Capricorn is about essentially prestige, reputation, and tethering our emotions to how things are going is dangerous territory. And we might not realize this when things are going well, when we're like, I feel so good about myself. I got so much done today. Got great results from my boss. I killed that presentation. I feel good about this new raise. Like obviously those are going to be things that do make us feel happy, but tethering our entire sense of worth or our entire internal landscape to those arenas are constantly shifting and changing. And you never know when something will come and throw a wrench into the plan, right? You're trying to get to your presentation, your car wouldn't start, right? Your company has layoffs, or sometimes things happen that are just out of our control, and Uranus energy reminds us of that. And when we tether our emotional landscape to those arenas, when those things go away, it can leave us feeling devoid or feeling empty or not being sure how to nurture ourselves, because we constantly look to soothe ourselves through outward, essentially, accomplishments or what it is that we are working towards. So this can go either way on Monday, around either with the energy of moon and Capricorn being like, I need to get something done for me to feel good about myself. Maybe some of you are beating yourself up because you're like, how did an entire day go by? And I goofed off so much. Like, I don't understand. With the energy of moon and Capricorn, it's a beautiful thing to really want to build something of value, to have an intrinsic connection to what it is that you put your hard work and your effort towards, but know that you are worthy whether you answered 10 emails or 5 emails today. It has nothing to do with your inherent worth as well as how much nurturing you should give yourself, right? And that evening, the Capricorn moon opposes Venus in Cancer. And I do want to let you know, Monday is ruled by the moon in astrology, and the Venus in Cancer is answering to moon in Capricorn. So again, we're in need of comfort. We're in need of nurturing. Maybe you had a really intense Scorpio lunar eclipse and like Monday was just sort of a recovery day. You're like, so much was going on that my house got really messy. And yeah, I wasn't necessarily productive, but I really need to just nurture my internal reality. Like I just needed a pause. I just needed a break. Like there can be an energy where you can have this certain resistance around, did I deserve that nurturing, or should I be working harder? Should I be doing more? I want to let you know you are doing enough. You are doing fine. Like with Mercury retrograde, it's okay to take a beat. It's okay to rest. You do not need to be constantly bulldozing forward. Like sometimes we are human beings. We need to nurture ourselves. And it just feels like with the energy of the Capricorn moon opposing Venus in Cancer, we can feel this clash around, I feel like I need to do this much with my external reality in order to deserve taking a night for myself or doing something sweet for myself outside of what I do for others. And so honor yourself. Things are a little topsy-turvy. No one's gonna look out for you in the way that you will. I also feel this could come up within relationships, not necessarily fighting energy, but with the energy of Capricorn moon opposite Venus in Cancer, there just could be an energy around that you feel within partnerships is that one person is really sensitive and the other person is saying like, boss up, or you need to be tougher, or what have you. And like one partner is really craving someone to like baby them and nurture them. And the other person's like, I don't have the bandwidth. I have so much on my plate. I'm so stressed. I can't. You need to just boss up and handle it. So there just feels to be this balance that we're trying to find around making sure that we are keeping the ship running smoothly as it relates to our external world, our responsibilities, while also understanding that things are constantly in flux. And just like external scenarios, our car not starting, things that weren't going awry, also our internal landscape is also something that is unexpected and it has different needs at different times. There can be something that's throwing a wrench in the plans around, I really had a lot to do, but I got sick, right? Sometimes things happen. It's like we have to be able to shift course in order to attune to what's happening. Maybe you're not sick, maybe a child of yours is sick, or maybe you have to take your dog to the vet. Again, I'm not putting these things out there, but I'm basically saying like with this sort of week, it's understanding that everything is in flux and we might have a plan and it might be a really good plan, but sometimes things just don't go according to plan. And because it's Taurus season, we could have this rigid idea around things need to go like this. And because it's Taurus season, which is a fixed energy, you know, we can be really stubborn around, well, this is how it was supposed to be. My 2001 Toyota Corolla was supposed to turn on, right? I know I was running late and I know I need to get my smog and all the things, but this wasn't supposed to happen. This wasn't according to plan. This is sort of a week where it's like, you know, things are not going to go according to plan. That's not something we can control. All we can control is what it is that we do with it. So whether it's your emotions are sort of being a little bit awry, your partner's being a little bit awry, there's just a desire this week, and particularly on Monday, to just allow ourselves to be as they are without trying to assign meaning around it should be like this, I should have done all this. It was what it was. It was what it was. Give yourself what it is that you need now and be conscious of where it is that you're almost like holding out self-care like a carrot on a stick, right around. I know you're sick, but you need to handle 2 more loads of laundry and then you can finally take a nap. It's like being conscious of where you're trying to push yourself before you feel that you deserve nurturing. Very important to be conscious of. So some dynamics to be wary of on Monday. So on Tuesday, the 9th, is when we have the Uranus Cazimi, also known as Sun conjunct Uranus. The word Cazimi simply means in the heart of the sun. It's when the 2 planets essentially fuse to become one. So essentially Sun and Uranus are operating as one. Sun is ego, Sun is identity. And I do want to highlight, like absolutely with Sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus, there can be things that malfunction in regards to our stuff, right? In regards to weather. Things just happen that throw a wrench in our plans, right? And that can be quite frustrating. This shouldn't happen. Things shouldn't happen like this. I was expecting things to go like this, right? But I also want to bring to the surface, Sun is ego and identity. So people can also malfunction in accordance to how we thought that they would show up, right? Like you might be going to a party with your partner and they typically dress pretty neutral and then randomly they're wearing a cheetah shirt and you're like, what are you doing? But with Uranus, it's just this energy where we're really wanting the rebelliousness to do our own thing. Like, does anybody else take it so personally when something doesn't work? Like if my car is not working, even though I have a very old car, or when my toaster wasn't working the other day, I'm like, how would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me, right? You take it kind of personally. You're just like so annoyed. You forget that stuff can break, right? You forget that stuff has a certain period of time that it will work. We forget that these elements of maintenance and dealing with inconveniences, they are so annoying, right? But it is sort of part of life, and it's not a personal attack on you. We can again assign meaning to it around this means the universe hates me, this means my car hates me. Things break, things go wrong, we spill sometimes, we break things sometimes. It's just the experience of being here on this planet. And I'm not saying if something goes awry this week, if plans are changed and you break something and you spill something, that you need to just be like, what a great experience being alive. But what I will say is staying open to unexpected blessings that can come from the inconveniences, the snafus, the issues that arise. There will be blessings. They're coming in a little later this week. But what I really want to say on Tuesday, giving people the space and the grace to be their own selves. You can be craving to do your own thing. You can be feeling this energy around feeling constricted within your environment. My job doesn't allow me to be the way that I want to be. My partner doesn't allow me to be the way that I want to be. My friend group doesn't allow me to be the way I want to be. With the energy of Uranus, we could be feeling a desire to want to rebel against the typical way of doing things. Even within the vibe check, you know, the unexpected event happens and we sort of rebelled around society that wants us to go out and get a new car right away. And you're like, okay, not everybody bikes to work. Let me march to the beat of my own drum, do my own thing. I don't care if people think it's weird that I park my bike in the office. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do my own thing. That's the vibe with Uranus. And we can either vibe with that around really embracing people's weirdness that shows up on Tuesday. So if your partner comes with you to the party wearing a cheetah shirt and you're like, that's weird, you typically wear neutrals, but whatever, go off. You can either be like, how fun, they're experimenting through style, or you could be like, go change. Things should be like this, right? You should be like this. With the energy of Uranus, give people the space and the grace to experiment, to rebel in the ways that feel good for them. Because I will let you know, with the energy of Uranus, we could be really craving the space to do our own thing. I'm not saying this is breakup energy at all. Like, it's actually a really good week for love. We'll get into that in a little bit, but rather it's a time where we could be craving kind of being able to do our own thing. And that's not a bad thing, right? If your partner wants to go out with their friends, if they're trying a new hobby, trying a new style, like allowing people to experiment with different aspects of themselves, because it's just sort of a week around things can feel a little haywire. And when things feel a little haywire, we can be experimenting with new ways of expressing ourselves and new ways of shining out our personality and even new ways of creating. Like Tuesday would be a day to really get weird with your creativity. Sun is how it is that we express ourselves. So it's coming through throughout our outfits, whether it's coming through throughout our decisions, wanting to be our own person, have agency over our life. It also could shine out through our creativity. This would be a really great day to get weird with your creativity, seriously. Super random, but Timbaland, the producer, came out with a memoir, and in it, he was talking about the process of creating the song Pony. I know you know it, okay, with Genuine. And to get that beat, do you know what he did? He would put records outside until they would like melt and warp and then play them so it would sound really distorted, and that's that beat, like was from that. Like, who would think of that? Who would think of warping and using that as, you know, as an instrument or as a beat? Like, it's just so fascinating. So don't fear getting weird with it, whether that comes out via your screenwriting, via your, you know, videos, via whatever it is that you do to express yourself creatively. It's so fun to read people's memoirs while comparing it to their natal chart. Like, Timbaland is a Pisces sun, a Capricorn moon, and he has a yod pointing at Uranus. And so again, when there's Uranus energy, it's time to get weird with it, okay? It's time to get weird with it. So whether it's, you know, allowing your records to melt outside and getting a warp sound, or embracing something new as it relates to your screenwriting, or just being your own person in videos, embracing getting a little weird with it. Will everyone get it? They will not. They don't have to, though. So if somebody sees you rolling up to work biking and is like, that's so weird, this is the normal way to do it, it's like, okay, well, the normal thing is also to go get this insanely predatory loan, so just let me do me while I save in the interim, while I allocate my time and energy accordingly. So with the energy of Uranus, let people be their own person, embrace new ways of expressing yourself, and just know on Tuesday things could happen that are unexpected, okay? And we just have to be light on our feet, able to pivot. You know, oh, my car's not starting. Okay, how am I gonna solve this situation? How am I gonna pivot? Oh, we had plans to go here and and because the weather, we can't any longer. How are we going to pivot and make the best of it, right? This week is very much the vibe around when life gives you lemons, you got to make lemonade, okay? There are things that are unexpected. We have these lemons, they're sour, sometimes it's unexpected, right? Maybe the lemon hit us in the face, but we get to choose what it is that we do with it or how it is that we proceed. So moon-wise on Tuesday is honestly a very productive energy. The Capricorn moon trine Mercury in Taurus, which is obviously still retrograde, but this energy around being able to proactively really solve the problems that are coming up. So again, it's like you can have that moment of being annoyed around, why is my car not starting? Why is my partner acting so weird? Why is this plan getting canceled? Why? You can have that moment, but remember around, okay, what am I gonna do with this? How am I gonna proceed? Am I still gonna go to the party even though my partner is wearing this crazy shirt? How am I going to get to work? Like essentially there's a problem solving energy, as well as with Mercury retrograde. It really is brilliant when it relates to editing, refining, attuning to the details, which Tuesday does feel to be supportive of, and the Capricorn moon also sextile Saturn in Pisces, who it's answering to. So a lot of stability here around grounding down. Things that are unexpected, but we're sort of just taking it step by step around, okay, that's interesting. My car's not starting. That's interesting. My partner's wearing that. That's interesting. This is happening. What am I going to do with it? How am I going to move forward? That evening, the Capricorn moon does square Chiron in Aries, which can be a soft spot around where it is that we feel inadequate. Be conscious around not comparing yourself to other people, okay? We're all in different parts of our journey, and understanding, like I always think, okay, Capricorn is a sea goat. In traditional astrology, it's a sea goat, okay? But I like to think of it as a mountain goat, okay? And it's almost this energy where the Capricorn moon squaring Chiron in Aries, you could be looking towards the top of the mountain you're climbing and see other goats above you, right? And be like, how do I get there? But also understanding other goats are beneath you, looking at you and being like, how do I get there? There will always be goats above you. There will always be goats above you who are higher on the mountain as you. You might get to the peak of one, but then see, but there's another mountain to climb. Like our work is never done. And that's the joy of being a human being. So just being conscious around feeling personally inadequate around, should I even continue? You can be serving as inspiration for the people who are looking at you, trying to get where it is that you are, right? Life is in the acquisition. Like there will never be a moment where we're like, I am 100% satisfied with every aspect of life. Like the experience of being a human, especially, and this might be a dynamic that's coming out with the moon in Capricorn, the experience about being a human is really ascending to new heights within ourselves and reaching new milestones within ourselves. And again, not feeling like I'm so worthy because I'm this high up, right? But rather this energy around, I'm so worthy that I deserve to reach the milestones that I want to. Understanding that this, wrench in the plan, right? Maybe with the goat analogy, this would be some rocks fall on you and it's like, okay, I gotta go around it, right? Those unexpected snags, those turbulent moments are what make the view from the top so satisfying, because you took yourself there. You know that those rocks came down for your journey. You knew that your car did not start that one time and you had to overcome that challenge. You know that you had to think light on your feet when things didn't happen exactly how you thought it was going to. That's what gives our life really nuance. I think this is just coming up because I've been reading a lot of memoirs and comparing it to their birth charts, but just in memoirs, like whenever we read about someone's life, there are some, memoirs of famous people where it's like, and then this happened, and then this happened. It's just like constant successes. But what makes the story rich is understanding how it is that they overcame things that were unexpected, situations that were adverse, things that were challenging, right? That's what really gives us inspiration as humans to dig deep and keep going, even when things don't go according to plan. So that's your Tuesday pep talk from Haley Comet. On Wednesday, the 10th, it's really important to rise to the challenge of what is transpiring within your universe at this moment, right? Because when things are unexpected, we can either, cry, continue to kick our tire and try to turn on the car and be like, why? Or we can rise above it, be like, this was not according to plan, but what can I do? What can I do but turn these lemons into lemonade? And that's just important to remember on Wednesday particularly. The Capricorn moon trines the Taurus sun as well as Uranus and Taurus really early in the day, so we could feel this on Tuesday as well, which is really this grounded energy. We're wanting to enjoy life, right? Like this is why in the vibe check, it's like when you bike somewhere, when you walk somewhere, there's such a different energetic to arriving there than via a car. Does anybody else feel that? I absolutely love walking to get my groceries. Sometimes it's hard because you have a lot to hold, but it is so lovely. You feel more connected in your neighborhood. You feel more connected to the people around you. I love to frequent the businesses around me. saying hi to my neighbors just opens you up for different dialogues. It's just nice, right? To slow down sometimes, really ground down into our scenario and enjoy the beauty of life right now. Like wherever you are located within the world, I would say these seasons are some of the most amazing, right? Middle of spring, middle of fall. There's really a beauty in the air. Remember to enjoy it, this particular iteration, this particular moment, right? Like understanding, in my goat analogy that I shared yesterday, like certainly there's still places that you want to go, but also where it is that you are now, there's lots of beauty around you as well. So it's this delicate balance around still continuing to build what it is that we want, overcoming challenges and unexpected scenarios as we do so, but also remembering to ground down and enjoy the now. And of course, with the trine Uranus, being able to problem solve and having agency over our own experience. Because with the Capricorn moon opposite Mars in Cancer, there can be a tendency to want to slip into victim mode. Why me? Why me? This isn't fair. My car is meant to work. My partner is supposed to act like this. Why, right? And like I've been highlighting in my eclipse videos, of course, there's no more eclipses this season, but we are kind of in the aftershock energy. The thing about eclipses is that we don't need to understand why right now. Like maybe the universe is setting you up for something better, right? Maybe your partner experimenting with this new look is going to unlock these different components of their being that's going to make them feel so much more confident, right? Maybe your car, you know, breaking down on you is going to be a safer option for you. Maybe it could have gotten bad, you know, if it turned on, you continued neglecting it. We don't understand at this point in the journey why things have to happen. And sometimes it's not personal. Toasters break, belongings break, people are spontaneous and unexpected. It just is what it is. We just have to keep rocking with it and understand that you do have the power over it. Because with the Capricorn moon opposite Mars in Cancer, there can be energy around oscillating between I need to control this needs to go according to plan and like, oh, I can't do this. I'm not strong enough. I'm not powerful enough. So just keep your eye on the prize. Okay, it doesn't all need to make sense now. Just do what it is that you can in the moment that it comes up. You can throw yourself a pity party if you want to. If something's not working, some plan gets destroyed, something doesn't work out that you thought it would. You could throw yourself a pity party, but you gotta keep going, okay? Eye on the prize with the Capricorn moon sextiling Neptune in Pisces, like really a vision plus a plan, even if the plan takes you a different route than you thought it would, like keeping your eye on the vision, being open on the modality, like that is where success lies. So just understanding that. And then with the Capricorn moon squaring Jupiter in Aries would be great for an afternoon workout of some sort, as you should feel more energetic at this time and wanting to kind of release some energy externally. And the moon will be void at 4:52, which is when I would do that workout. It could just be helpful around the Capricorn moon desire to want to feel grounded or to ground down into your physical body. The Jupiter in Aries desire to want to have some movement. It could be helpful to just release some energy if you are feeling frustrated by things that are unexpected, right? It could be helpful. And the moon's void anyway, so there's nothing that you need to be doing. And it could just be helpful because the moon will be building to conjoin Pluto that night. So things can feel intense and it might be helpful to just get some energy out of your body via some physical movement. And the moon will be void from 4:52 until 7:05 p.m. and then it'll conjoin Pluto. So again, our emotions can feel intense. We can be responding to societal news really intensely. We could be feeling things really intensely. And again, when it comes to Pluto energy, you can let go or you could be dragged. You can try to, you know, continue to rehabilitate this car and try to just like push it and push it and push it. But sometimes life is just taking us in a new direction. It doesn't need to make sense right now, but just understanding when it comes to Pluto energy, we can let go or be dragged. Sometimes things break, sometimes things end, sometimes things don't happen in according to plan. It sucks, right? But we can't control life as much as we want to. On Thursday, May 11th, my biggest word of caution has to do with technology, technological difficulties, as the Aquarius moon squares off with Mercury in Taurus, which can create snags, things that are unexpected. Printers can be not working with you, toasters can be not working with you, messages can be not working with you, there can be miscommunications. Like I've been saying with Mercury Retrograde, over communicate, right? And there also can be lingering misunderstandings or things of the nature. Like maybe you took your car to the shop and now you're being paranoid around, is my car really totaled? Or are they trying to take advantage of me with the price that they're quoting? Like you could be really questioning people's motives, right? Reading into what's not being said. There's just a clash between our intuition and the logical facts of the matter. And again, if you're in that spirit of indecision, if anyone's trying to force you to make a decision right now, like you need to buy a car right now, or like you go to work and people are like, you can't bike to work, that's so weird. What if a client sees you? That's so weird. Like knowing that you don't need to react or make a decision right now, right? And even if you do, because I will say when it comes to communicating your ideas or having a dialogue with somebody, there's just a vibe where we're not going to see eye to eye. And it's okay to just be like, hey, can we table this? Can we talk about this, next week? Because we are just not seeing eye to eye. You are so firmly there and I'm so firmly here. It's fixed energy, right? So it can be a little bit stubborn. So it can be challenging for us to really see the perspective of who it is that we communicate with, as well as we could just be feeling this battle around, I feel like this, but logically it's like this. I'm internally attached to my car, but logically, I know that it's not a safe way of transportation any longer. Like there's just this inherent battle within us, right? As well as emotionally wanting to react around, this feels unfair. I was already going through it. Now I'm having car issues. This feels personal. This isn't right. This isn't right. Whereas like Mercury in Taurus just reminds us, sometimes things happen. Like sometimes things happen. It has nothing to do with you. We drop our phone, we spill coffee, things happen and it's annoying and it's frustrating and you can take a moment to be mad about it. But at the end of the day, we just need to keep it moving, right? At the end of the day, it is just stuff. I know sometimes it can feel like end of the world when you break something, when you lose something. And again, paying the extra money is very frustrating, but at the end of the day, it is just stuff, right? Remembering to ground down into what is truly valuable within our lives, which is the connections, right? Like maybe your car didn't work and then your coworker picked you up, but you ended up having a really lovely conversation. Maybe when your toaster doesn't work, you have to knock on the door and ask your neighbor if you can use theirs to make your toast. Like you never know the unexpected blessings that can come up when things don't go according to plan. And what else are we gonna do but make lemonade when life gives us lemons? As I highlighted, I have a very old car, so things have gone awry. Knock on wood, it's working great now, but I'm being realistic. I know that I will have to eventually get a new car, even though I love my car. I love my car so much. But anyways, I do have an old car, so I remember I had to get something or another fixed. I hate having to get my car fixed. Like when they're talking to me, I literally cannot understand. Like to me, if you're talking about astrological terms, it is a language and I'm so with you. And a lot of times when I say a lot of those terms to somebody who doesn't speak astrology, they're like, girl, what are you talking about? That's how auto speak is to me. I'm like, what is the language? What are you saying? I don't know what you were saying. It makes me feel so helpless. I'm like, what needs to be fixed and why and how? And they're trying to show me things and point at things. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. It's just not my domain in life. Okay. It's just not my domain in life. Anyways, I was having an issue of some sort. And I remember my boyfriend and I had just started dating and I was working this job at this time where I had to go to this studio space, really 45 minutes from me. So typically, I work from home, so it's not a big deal, but having to hustle 45 minutes, that was a big deal. And my boyfriend, being the angel that he is, hustled me up to the studio space. And this was when we were first started dating and we got stuck in so much traffic, but we were really just enjoying it. Like again, it was an inconvenience, right? It wasn't ideal, but you got to make the best of situations like that. And before he dropped me off, we were having this conversation. He's an amazing chef. He's an amazing cook. He's a Venus in Taurus. And he was planning to make me this meal that evening. And on the way up, he was like, I just really want to make a berry crumble for dessert, but I don't think you have any ramekins. And it was when he was dropping me off. So I was getting out of the car and I was like, yeah, I don't think I have any ramekins. So while I was in the studio space, he popped over to a Target to buy me some ramekins. And then after we hustled our way through traffic, making the best of it, joking, getting to know one another, what have you. We come here to my house. He opens the doors and he's like, Haley, you have 6 ramekins right here. And I was like, firstly, your first mistake was thinking that I knew what a ramekin was. I don't know why I didn't speak up. If I was shy, if my Virgo moon wanted to be a know-it-all around, I know what a ramekin is, but apparently I have a lot of hand-me-down stuff from other individual, and apparently my cousin had given me 6 ramekins. I just didn't know what a ramekin was. So, now I have 9 ramekins, and it's not ideal, right? It's not ideal to have all these ramekins, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. And you can either laugh about it or you can break the ramekins. At the end of the day, things happen that are miscommunications, right? Things happen that are snafus. Things happen that aren't according to plan, right? Not having my car to go to that studio space was a snafu. Not communicating that I didn't know what a ramekin was and that I had 6 ramekins because I didn't know what the hell a ramekin was. Do you know what a ramekin is? Am I alone in that? Am I alone in that? I don't know. I had no idea those were ramekins, but the berry crumble turned out delicious, and we just always laugh when we talk about it. At the end of the day, things happen. Throw a tantrum about it, or you can laugh about it. You know, decision's up to you. So on Friday the 12th, I do want to let you know it is the last quarter moon. So it's sort of like the aftershocks from the Scorpio lunar eclipse, which again, vent in the comments, my love. What came up? What came up? What transpired for you? Why I highlight that is simply because if you had an emotional or intense Scorpio lunar eclipse, there can be some remnants of that or some pieces of that that do kind of reverberate out or echo out on Friday. Or if there were exciting developments, parts of that can also be part of Friday's astrology as well. So there's the last quarter moon and also the moon squaring Uranus. So the day might start off in a more unexpected way, or emotionally could be feeling more volatile or all over the place or emotional. Just again, with the Taurus energy, step by step, hoof by hoof, this too shall pass. But there's lots of helpful energy. Again, it's like things happen that aren't expected, but there's helpful energy around solving it. So again, there was something that went wrong, right? Your car didn't start, but there's so many things that went right. Your coworker took you to work, right? My boyfriend bought me all those ramekins and we had a berry crumble and a laugh about it because I didn't know what a ramekin was. There are blessings around us, right? It's just important to look for it. And the reason I'm saying there's helpful energy is because Mercury in Taurus will sextile Venus in Cancer and also sextile Saturn in Pisces. So there's snafus, there's issues, there's miscommunications, but we have the groundedness and the wherewithal to be able to work through it, as well as to harmonize and connect with others, like the Mercury sextile Venus around, okay, you told me you didn't have ramekins and you have 6. This is a great teaching opportunity to tell you what a ramekin is, and we're still gonna make the crumble. And I will let you know, as I typically recommend with Mercury Retrograde, I don't typically advise, starting anything new or buying anything new, but I will say Mercury sextile Venus is really lovely, beautifying energy. I know some of you were feeling the same call as I to want to like get rid of stuff, right? And with Venus in Cancer wanting to beautify your home, that would be really opportune on Friday, as well as to micro levels, cleaning out your work desk, cleaning out your computer, things of that nature. Try not to do anything drastic technologically because it can go awry, but we're in the mood to beautify, simplify, as well as make things more homey, more enjoyable with Venus in Cancer, as well as there's a sweetness with our language. So if you want to collaborate with somebody, if you want to shoot your shot, if you want to like circle back on an email that you sent a while ago, there's a sweetness to our words on Friday, as well as really wanting to collaborate and work with others in a more grounded way with Mercury sextile Saturn. So really ideal for refining, editing, circling back, dialing in details is all supported. And then that evening, the Aquarius moon sextiles Jupiter in Aries, which is really wanting to spend time with friends. This would be a great time to host a dinner party or get people together or go out to connect with individuals. Honestly, like this weekend is really lovely for couples and partnerships of all sorts. It is a great day to socialize, to connect with groups of like-minded individuals. Like for me, I'll be at the Astrology Club. We have an Astrology Club here in San Diego and they have a cool talk on that evening. So that looks like a perfect way to celebrate. So if there is, whether it's an astrology club within your city or it is, going to the disco with your friends or going to some sort of happy hour or social hour, something of that nature, we're in the mood to connect with groups and we're in the mood for adventure, truly, with the Aquarius moon sextile Jupiter in Aries. And if anybody is single and wants to meet somebody, all I'm saying is ask a friend to set you up on Friday, go out with your friends looking cute and be open to meet somebody on Friday, plan a double date on Friday, something of that nature, because Venus trine Saturn exacts late Friday. So for a lot of you who are listening elsewhere in the world, this will happen Saturday. This weekend's really amazing for love, and here's why. With Venus in Cancer, as we highlighted, Venus in Cancer is craving a love that feels like home, a love that feels like safety, a love that feels like groundedness. And with the trine to Saturn in Pisces, we want a love that lasts, okay? We want to really reserve the depths of our soul and of our emotional landscape to somebody who is deserving of it and somebody who we could see going the distance with. So if you are already in a relationship, there can be a call to want to commit deeper to your relationship, talk about the future, what it is that you guys want together. If you do meet somebody, it can be an energy around really being able to align on like morals and values and the direction of where things are going. A really soulful, grounded love, like somebody who makes your nervous system feel safe, okay? Like that's the sort of love that we're calling in. Like again, with last week's Venus in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces is being drawn to people who sort of give butterflies into our tummy and make us like feel all up and down, right? But that's like your nervous system literally sensing danger to a certain degree, like making you feel on edge. And don't get me wrong, chemistry is chemistry. But with Venus in Cancer, it's like attuning to who it is that makes you feel safe, who you don't have a hard time, you're not like stuttering and your mind's all scattered around. Like, you know, it can be romantic to think, oh, butterflies in my tummy and you make me feel so weak to my knees. Like that could be so romantic. But in regards to truly building a life with somebody, truly creating a life partnership with Venus in Cancer, we're really craving someone who makes us feel safe, whose values are aligned, we feel like we're moving in the right direction with, right? And oftentimes your soulmate, your ideal life partner, it's not going to feel like this energy around butterflies and I feel so nervous around you. It's going to be this energy around safety. Like I just feel like I could be myself with you. I just feel very grounded and present with you. And that can be hard if you're used to relationships where you're used to the roller coaster of the up and down and butterflies. You can perceive people who feel normal and stable and calming as boring, right? But attune to your nervous system. How does it feel? But oftentimes what feels familiar isn't always good for us. And with Venus in Cancer trining Saturn in Pisces, it's really wanting to build a life that is good for us, good for our emotions, right? Not having a roller coaster, being able to build something consistently, good for our life direction, the life that we want to build, and really just good for our soul. Someone who just makes us feel safe and grounded and happy and content. Okay, so we need to talk about this also financially, okay? Because Venus is also our money, and that's more so the reference that I gave within the vibe check. So the cool thing about these two planets getting together is that they are residing in territory that the other planet really does well in. Venus exalts in Pisces. It loves being in Pisces. It's able to Venus its highest Venus in Pisces, be its most beautiful, charming, charismatic self in the sign Pisces. Jupiter exalts in Cancer. It's able to be its most generous, right, soulful self in Cancer. So that's not where they are, right? Venus is in Cancer, Saturn's in Pisces, but they're making this harmonious aspect in territory that the other thrives in. So there is this real abundant energy here, right? Abundance of love, whether we feel that within our friends, within romantic partnerships, as well as with finances. Like it's not necessarily the vibe around get rich quick or anything of that nature, but with Venus in Cancer, we're really wanting to grow our money. We're thinking security oriented, and we're really thinking through the lens of time, right, with Saturn, which is why in the vibe check, it's like, okay, what's going to be the best long term? Like in the interim, it might be frustrating, you know, I have a lot more time to bike to work, you know, there's sacrifices that need to be made, but in the long term, this will allow me to save more money, so I have a bigger down payment on this car. This will be an investment in my body, right, an investment in my soul space also, and really thinking long term, right? So being mindful around where it is that you are spending money to like solve a problem right now. And with Venus in Cancer trining Saturn, it's like, how can I be smart with my money? How can I make my money go farther for me, as well as how can it continue to grow within itself? I always find it interesting that these two kind of financial planets, right? Venus is literally the planet of money, Jupiter is the planet of abundance. I find it fascinating that they exalt in water signs, because we typically do designate water terms when talking about money, streams of income, right? Flow of abundance, right? Which really does designate, it's not about hoarding it, right? Like it is about flowing it, but ensure you're using it towards things that will really make you happy, right? Things that you really do see value in. Like the bike, you know, that was an investment in your happiness. It brings you back to your inner child. It allows your money to go further, right? So there is a lens with Saturn where we're thinking responsibly when it comes to our affection, when it comes to our money, as well as when it comes to our beauty. And we're really wanting to invest in what it is that we see value in, whether it's the products that we see value in, the, you know, leaders that we see value in, whatever. Like allowing our money to really support us to be the best version of ourselves, as well as build the world that we believe in, supporting, you know, the small business owners that we believe in, supporting the savings and investments that we want to see within our account. Like really thinking long term, thinking responsibly, grounding down. If anything sounds too good to be true, okay, it probably is. And with Venus trine Saturn, we're just being more discerning as it relates to where we're putting our love, affection, as well as where we are putting our money to ensure it really will stand the test of time. And also on Friday, the moon will enter Pisces at 9:39 p.m. So the astrology for Saturday, May 13th, when it comes to Saturday's astrology, the moon is in Pisces all day, and it does conjoin Saturn. So there is this lingering feeling of duty in the air. And like I said, with Venus trine Saturn, it's a beautiful weekend for love. If you are in a relationship, to get on the same page around where are we going, what's our plan, are we aligned in regards to that plan, right? It's a great time to really be thinking through your money strategically, especially with that Mercury retrograde answering to that Venus trine Saturn. Again, it's not the time to make a impulse decision, impulse buy, or do anything crazy with your money right away. But I will say it's a really strategic time to kind of review it around, okay, how can I be using this in a better way? And also, when it comes to the Pisces moon meeting up with Saturn, see where you can infuse the mundane with a sprinkle of magic, okay? Where it is that you can go about ordinary events and errands and things that you have to do and be able to find a little bit of magic or art or spirituality within it. When it comes to essentially the Pisces moon meeting up with Saturn, there can be this feeling in the air around the things that you have to do, right? Oh, I have to do my laundry. Seeing where it is that you can reframe it around, I'm so grateful to have clothes, right? And if you have to get an oil change, I'm so grateful to have a vehicle, right? I have to handle these things. I get to where that reframe is available, or being able to romanticize your life. So let's say you have to go to the DMV, it's closed on Saturday, but if you have to go to the DMV, if you have to go to the laundromat, seeing where it is that you can see it as a music video or infuse a little artisticness into it, right? Like sometimes you just got to find the magic in it, whether it's, you know, diverting, finding something fun, finding some gratitude for sucky situations, because if you have bills, that means that you have these resources, you know, available to you that you're paying for. Might be annoying, but at least you do have them. Or what always works for me, when something sucks, I'm like, at least the astrology validates it, or like, this must be for a reason. Again, finding those ways to tweak things that feel annoying and see it from a higher perspective if that's available to you. And with the Pisces moon sextile Mercury in Taurus, looking for whispers from your spirit around what to handle. Let's say if you have a lot on your agenda for the day, you're like, I have to do this and you have to do this, looking for those little whispers. If your soul is like, okay, let's start with this, or I don't really feel like doing the laundry, but getting my oil changed, that sounds like a fun adventure. Following these little whispers from your soul around what to fix or refine first. And right after the moon meets up with Saturn, since they're chilling together, the moon trines Venus. So there is this ability to find and deal with these duties, these responsibilities, and find this level of fun towards it, right? Find this level of beauty and enjoyment. This would be a great time to, you know, if you have a lot of errands to do, make sure to go grab breakfast or get a little treat or get a donut or do something fun where you're still handling your stuff, but you're pausing to enjoy the moment. Maybe you and your partner really need to get on the same page around what are we doing, where are we moving, or what have you. But with the trine of Venus, maybe you can do so during a picnic, like finding those moments to, yes, handle your stuff, but infuse a little beauty, a little loveliness into it. On Sunday, the 14th, Mercury stations direct, hooray! But this is very much yellow light energy, okay? I'm not saying that on Sunday you can sign all the contracts and buy all the things. Like, firstly, it doesn't station until 8:14 p.m. So really most of the day it's still retrograde. And secondly, it needs some time, right? It's still in the shadow, so it's still kind of slowly making its way through territory that it's been prior. So it's very much yellow light energy, but if you've been kind of like brain fog, forgetful, dropping things, miscommunications abound, some of that will begin to alleviate. So congrats to all of us for getting through the eclipse season. Mercury retrograde combo, that's something to celebrate, right? Moon aspects, the Pisces moon sextiles the Taurus sun, it sextiles Uranus and Taurus. Again, looking for those ways to infuse some novelty, some beauty into the day-to-day. Of course, really lovely for creativity. Honestly, all weekend is really a time to really look at everything through a romantic, artistic lens. Even if you're doing your laundry, you can romanticize that, okay? Even if you're going to the DMV, that's gonna be a hard one, but you can at least put on a choker and pretend you're in some rom-com where the main character is going to meet the love of her life at the DMV. Who knows? You need to get creative with it, but I will say treating your life like a movie and finding those little ways to make it a little bit more fun is essential over the weekend. The Pisces moon trines Mars in Cancer. So again, your spirit is talking to you, nudging you towards what direction you should go in. And again, we don't need to know it all right away. We don't need to know why the universe, you know, made our car not work and we had to get a bike, but you never know what the new day may bring. You never know. You could bike past the love of your life when you're biking to work, right? Maybe you pause to get a sip of water and you see somebody else biking to work and that's someone super significant for your journey. Maybe that car was unsafe and it could have led to detrimental results had you kept driving it. You never know. And on Sunday, it's really around honoring your inner self and where it's nudging you around, okay, rather than go getting a car, maybe we should go to the bike store and just see if any speak to us, right? Randomly, I'm feeling a desire to pop around to this particular boutique, allowing yourself to flow with where it is that you're feeling guided or what's kind of calling to your senses, right? With the Taurus energy around walking around being like, ooh, I want to go there. The flowers over there are talking to me. Just allowing yourself to find some flow within your day if it is accessible. And then that evening, Mercury does station direct. It's also Mother's Day, so I just want to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the mamas who watch Magic Monday, and also to my mom who gave birth to me during a full moon, so I know that must have been a bit chaotic. So thank you for that. So my loves, that is our week. What are you looking forward to? What are you not looking forward to as much? And our Magic Monday mantra of the week is, I create the best hand of the cards that I am dealt. Like a game of poker, sometimes things that are unexpected. We might have really wanted, you know, a ace of spades, right? And sometimes we get a seven of hearts and it just threw off the hand that we were going for, right? But we have to be able to navigate and just play the cards that we are dealt. And I don't know anything about poker, so I don't know why I'm acting like I do. Sometimes things are random or unexpected or don't go according to plan, right? Which is why the game of poker is so much fun. We don't know what the next hand will bring. That's why life can be so much fun. We don't know what the new day may bring. And all we can do is take what's coming up and make the best of it, right? Maybe your initial play that you were trying to do around a flush, is this even poker? A flush that you were trying to land, maybe that's not possible, but is there a different thing that you can go for? Is there a 4 of a kind? Is there a 3 of a kind? What can you do with the cards that you were dealt? Because you can't go to the dealer, you can't go to God, go to the universe and say, can you just make this car work? I mean, you can sometimes, but sometimes it just is what it is, right? And all you can do is essentially play the best hand of the cards that you were dealt. All you can do is take these lemons and turn them into lemonade. All you can do is say, okay, you know what? This isn't gonna work. What can I do here? How can I navigate this situation, right? How can I make the best of it? Because I'm telling you, there can be some good that comes out of the unexpected events this week with that sweet Venus trine Saturn. So I would love to hear, how was your eclipse season? How has been your Mercury retrograde? Please let me know. You can do so here or on any of my other social media platforms, 2 of which are Instagram, which is at Haley Comet Astrology. TikTok is the same. Feel free to connect with me over there. I'm sending so much love to you all. Congrats again on getting through eclipse season and Mercury retrograde. We are just celestial champions over here. So I'll see you next week in my cosmic corner. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.